Good morning, 6 o'clock here on your Thursday. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Nicole Hernandez. We are under a weather impact alert again today. Our meteorologist Thomas Patrick tracking that. Thomas, what's this one about?
Yeah, this is, by the way, the fourth day in a row of our weather impact alert mode. It will not be in comparison to yesterday, however. Today I'm using it for the return of snowfall, and I want to make sure people don't get caught off guard by seeing snowfall or a bit of some slush or slippery roads later on for this morning. But this is not going to be a hugely significant event. This would be more inconvenient if anything else. So the return of some snow and really just a rain-snow mix at first. A little bit more of some wind tonight, but again, not in comparison to what we had yesterday. As we start with Doppler radar, I'm going to zoom in over Spokane and Coeur d'Alene because it looks like the snow is now just getting started. I'm going to back up that time frame from 8 o'clock to now 6 a.m. right now because the snow just started over Deer Park, just started over Athol, as well as the Hayden region. Nothing yet over Spokane, but these scattered snow showers is just the beginning of our weather event, which will ultimately switch over to rain later on today, but it will be a matter of how much snow we get at first before we get to that very wet and rainy afternoon.
Taking a live look at traffic now at I-90 and US 195, you can see we're not really seeing much in terms of major traffic or backups. On our traffic maps right now, things looking pretty much like this across the entire region. If you're heading out the door right now, we're not seeing any major backups to contend with. Well, a sad update now from yesterday's storm. A tree fell on a home out in Kootenai County and killed someone while they were sleeping.
The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office says the tree killed a 55-year-old man. This is video of the moment crews pulled the tree off of that home, showing just how extensive the damage is. This happened around 6 a.m. yesterday morning in the Fernan area in Coeur d'Alene. The Sheriff's Office has not identified the man, but we do know there were other people trapped in the home, but they made it out safely.
It's just devastating because we pass by here every day. The displays they put out here, it's a joy to us to come by, and every time we go to the store, we always swing by here before we go home. The people are super nice. It's just a shame.
Neighbors in the area say it's common for trees to fall in this area during severe storms. There have been close calls, but nothing deadly.
I'm sure for some there is definitely a wake-up call.
As crews work to get streets cleaned up, neighbors are now having to clean up trees and branches from their properties. That arborist there we just heard from says most tree companies give free quotes. So if you have any trees that survived this storm, but you're not sure if they'll make it through another, it's best to just call.
This morning, thousands of people across the inland Northwest are still without power. This is a look at the Avista outage map. They are reporting more than 21,000 customers without power. This is Inland Power's outage map. As you can see, they are reporting more than 700 customers without power. Now we're looking at Kootenai Electric. This morning, they are reporting more than 2,000 customers affected. And then finally, this is a look at Northern Lights. They are reporting more than 3,000 customers without power this morning.
A couple of school districts canceled and delayed school again for this morning. St. Mary's Joint School District canceled classes because of power outages and road conditions. And the White Pine Joint School District in Beauville and Deary will be closed. Elmira School District is delayed by 2 hours. As of right now, the other districts that closed yesterday should be back to normal this morning.
You are looking at some of the damage in Whitman County. This is video from Pullman. It's reported at least 6 large trees fell blocking some roadways. A couple of traffic signals were also taken down, as well as power lines. Right now, the city is asking people to be careful when driving as crews are working to clean up. The area is supposed to get hit with another weather system today.
Just down the road in Moscow, the high winds destroyed some Idaho history. The University of Idaho lost several iconic trees on campus. The school says 15 trees came down, and they'll have to take down a few others. 2 of the trees that came down were planted by former U.S. presidents. One of the trees that got damaged was the first one ever planted in the presidential grove. President Teddy Roosevelt planted it back in 1911. University President Scott Green says this is all just a huge historic loss for the community and the state. Some of those trees has been there for a century. Well, back in Spokane, crews, of course, still working to clean everything up.
Yeah, power has been restored to many of the homes impacted, but there are still many without power. So Brandon, tell us more about where you are and what you're seeing. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tim, Nicole. Right now we're here at Underhill Park. We kind of been driving around the South Hill this morning. We were up on Bernard earlier in the morning. And of course, that was an area that was extremely impacted. Take a look at this big pine right here behind me though. Again, this is at Underhill Park, so probably kind of low on the totem pole for crews to get this chopped up. It's not really blocking much. It's not in the area of the playground or anything of that nature, but go ahead, take a look at some of the video we got yesterday from Bernard. Again, we were up there this morning. That tree that was blocking the road, 2 of those trees already have been removed or at least chopped out, so the road is officially back open on Bernard this morning. Power mostly restored as well. Avista is now reporting that only 5 homes in that area of Bernard are still without power. They estimate that to turn back on by this evening, 10 p.m. at the latest. But again, our crews, Nicole, you were out there during the bulk of that windstorm yesterday, speaking with some of those neighbors in the area who said it usually is not something they're surprised by because that area has been hit by windstorms several times in the past years.
They're pretty fast. I'd say be gone in 2 days maybe, or even less than that, depending on how many trees fell in the area. Yeah. But I don't know, but they're pretty quick.
Yep, so that neighbor was spot on with that assessment. Again, we saw some of those crews pull out this morning, already having the trees completely chopped and removed from blocking Bernard. But back down here on Underhill Park, we'll continue to kind of just assess some of the damage around the community. And again, it's just kind of mind-blowing to see the size of these trees and how easy they can go down with those strong winds that we saw yesterday morning. But for now, live in Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
That's right, Brandon. It does take a tremendous amount of force to knock down a tree like that. We saw a lot of scenes like that across the region, but it did take 70 to 80 mile per hour wind speeds. That storm has continued to absolutely blast eastward, and it is now over the Great Lakes region right now. I mean, the storm center is in Minnesota right now versus it being over Washington just 24 hours ago. That is how fast that has moved along. But in the meantime, we're now looking at our next storm, and that's all this moisture that is aimed at the Pacific Northwest. We are going to get snow in just a couple hours if it hasn't even started already. So far, nothing yet over Spokane, but Doppler radar did just start to see a few scattered snow showers around Spokane and Kootenai County just developing minutes ago. Though it is going to be kind of a rain-snow mix to start the day and then just all rain by the afternoon. So if we get any snow, it's not going to stick around and it would just be very slushy and very wet in the first place.
It's time for your wake-up call this morning. With all of the damages that we had from yesterday's windstorm, we're asking to see any photos that you took. We're all, of course, kind of cleaning up and trying to get back on our feet from everything happening yesterday, and still looks like there's some damage out there this morning. We've got a tree down in Moscow, Idaho, couple down actually, and then plenty of pictures as well, not just from damaged trees, but also some people saying they're happy that their trees didn't fall.